Hey everyone, welcome to Excel Insider. Today we will learn two different ways to calculate the beta of a stock using Microsoft Excel 365. Beta measures how a stock moves compared to the market. A beta of 1 means it moves with the market. Above 1 means high risk and below 1 means lower risk. In this tutorial, we will work with historical stock and market index data, and our goal is to measure stock risk compared to the overall market. Let's get started. Before we dive into the methods, we first need to prepare the data. Let's do that. First, we will import the stock data and calculate daily returns using the stock history and today functions. Stock history function retrieves historical data for a stock or index, and today function returns the current date. To get started, in a helper cell of your choice, like cell G1, type this formula. Let me explain. In the stock history function, the first argument, AAPL, specifies the stock ticker symbol for Apple. The second argument is where the today function returns the current date, and subtracting 28 gives the date from 28 days ago. This sets the start of the historical data period. The third argument is another today function, which marks the end date for retrieving the stock data, meaning the data will be collected up to today. The fourth argument, 0, tells Excel to return daily data rather than weekly or monthly summaries. The fifth argument, 1, indicates that only the closing prices should be returned for each day's record. With that explained, press Enter. Excel populates several rows with dates and closing prices for Apple. It excludes weekends and holidays, giving about 20 trading days. Now click on cell I1 or any empty cell and type this formula. This formula works the same way as the previous one, except the first argument is S&P 500 instead of Apple, meaning it now retrieves the daily closing prices for the S&P 500 index over the past 28 days. Press Enter. Now we have parallel data for S&P 500. With that done, let's copy the data to a new spot to keep it static. To do that, select the range of cells from cell G2 to H20. Press Ctrl+C on your keyboard to copy. Then select cell A2, right-click. Under Paste Options, select Values. This pastes the values and formats into the new spot. Repeat the same for S&P 500 data. This time, select the range from cell J2 to J13. Press Ctrl+C on your keyboard to copy. Click on cell C2, right-click. Under Paste Options, select Values. With that done, all the price data is organized in static values. If hashtags appears, just double-click the line between the columns. Now I will delete the live data as I don't need it anymore. But if you wish to keep it, you can store it in a separate sheet for the future uses. Next, let's calculate daily returns. First, click in cell D3. Since we need to compare the prices in B3 with the previous price in cell B2, we choose to start in cell D3 as cell D2 has no earlier values to reference. In the cell, type this formula. Equals, open bracket, cell B3 minus cell B2, which is the previous day's price, close the bracket, divided by cell B2 again. The formula subtracts the previous day's price in cell B2 from the current day's price in cell B3 to find the changes. Then divides by cell B2 to show how much the price moved compared to the previous day, giving the change value. Press Enter and pull down the autofill handle to copy the formula. Then, drag the fill handle from cell D20 to E20. This applies the same formula to the S&P data changes. Let's format these values into percentages. To do that, head to the Home tab. In Number section, click on the drop-down and select Percentage. You may notice some errors is because no previous value exists to compare. Hence, this gives us an error. Feel free to remove them. Just like that, we have successfully imported financial data and calculated the daily percentage returns for both Apple and S&P 500. The dataset is now ready. Let's move to the first method to calculate beta from this data. In the first method, we will use the data analysis ToolPak to run a full regression and display the beta value in the statistical report. Before we start, the analysis ToolPak is an add-in that we need to enable first. To do that, go to the File tab, then select Options at the very bottom. This opens up Excel Options dialog box. Select the Add-ins section. At the bottom beside Manage, select the drop-down and choose Excel Add-ins, then press Go. In the Add-ins dialog box, under Add-ins Available, make sure Analysis ToolPak is checked, then press OK. With that, the add-in is now enabled. Let's generate the report. First, go to the Data tab, then head to the Analysis section and select Data Analysis. This opens up Data Analysis dialog box. Under Analysis Tools, scroll down, select Regression, and click OK. Regression dialog box appears. In the Input section, click on the Y range field, select the stock's returns from cell D3 to D13. Next, for the X range, select the market's returns from cell E3 to E13. Here, I'm choosing the range from cell D3 to D13 and E3 to E13, so both X and Y ranges have the same number of data points, which Excel requires for regression. Then head to the Output options and click on Output Range. Click the field and then click on cell G1 or any empty cell to display the result. Then click OK. Excel generates a detailed regression output table. That's it. We have used the Data Analysis ToolPak to run a regression and display the beta value. Let's check out the final method. In the second method, we will use different Excel functions to calculate beta, giving multiple ways to get the same result. Let's begin. In the first option, we will use the slope function, which is the most direct way to calculate beta. Slope function returns the slope of the linear regression line through given data points. In a target cell of your choice, like cell H3, type this formula, equals slope. For the first argument, select the range from cell D3 to D13. This is the range containing the stock's daily returns, comma. For the second argument, select the cell's range from cell E3 to E13. This is the range containing the market's daily returns. The function performs a linear regression and returns the slope. With that explained, close the bracket and press Enter. This instantly calculates the beta for the data. Let's move to the second option. Now, if you need the intercept value alongside beta, you can switch to the leanest function. Leanest function calculates the statistics for a straight line that best fits your data. In cell H4 or any empty cell, type this formula, equals leanest. For the first argument, select the range from cell D3 to D13, comma. For the second argument, select the range from cell E3 to E13. Close the bracket. This function uses the same two arguments as the slope function. It returns an array of values where the first value is the slope. Hit Enter. This returns the same beta value as the slope function and the intercept value. Finally, let's check out the third option. In the third option, we will calculate beta manually using covariance.p and var.p functions. Covariance.p function returns population covariance, and var.p function calculates variance based on the entire population. In any empty cell of your choice, I'll go for cell H6, type this formula, equals covariance.p. For the first argument, select the range from cell D3 to D13, comma. For the second argument, select the range from cell E3 to E13. Close the bracket. The covariance.p function uses the same two arguments as before. This function calculates the average of the products of deviations for each data point pair. Press Enter. This returns the covariance value. Next, in a helper cell of your choice, like cell H7, type this formula, equals var.p. Select the range from cell E3 to E13. Close the bracket. In the var.p function, the single argument is the range containing only the market's daily returns. This function measures how much the market's return vary from their own average. Hit Enter. This returns the variance value. Finally, to get beta, in cell H8 or any empty cell, type this formula, equals the covariance value, which is cell H6, divided by the variance value, which is cell H7. Dividing these two values will give us the beta of the stock. Press Enter. There you have it. We have now used three different function-based approaches, all returning the same beta values for the stock. And that concludes our tutorial for the day. We have covered the detailed data preparation process, and 2 effective methods with multiple options to calculate the beta of a stock in Excel. Download the workbook linked below. Visit excelinsider.com for more Excel and Google Sheet tutorials. Feel free to comment your questions and feedback. Thanks for watching.